Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with some cool toys. Toys and tools to show you. As you can imagine, there are makers of tools who send us things all the time. It's a wonderful side effect of having a channel about making stuff. And one of the people we get stuff from is a company called Metmo. They sort of build themselves as high-end fidget toys. So they make things like these nested gears that are magnetic of different kinds. They make these ratcheting screwdrivers in two sizes that are marvelously overbuilt. And they really trumpet this fact that they're like going all metal where no one does that anymore. And they're not paying attention to a normal hardware tool market. They're building stuff for people who love tools. Okay, so we covered Metmo. This is, you recognize this. This is my baby, my Fractal Vise. I found this on a Chinese website and bought it. It's a masterpiece. We'll include a link to the video below. I had to do a lot of lapping just to get it functional, but this is basically a copy. It's called a Fractal Vise, and it is a copy of a 120-year-old vise meant to grab stuff gently. Okay, so I just want to talk about work holding for a second. The main advantage of a fractal vise is it distributes the load across many, many points, allowing a very gentle way to hold on to stuff. On a lathe, when you have round stuff, you use it with a multi-jaw chuck. There's 3-jaw, 4-jaw, even 6-jaw chucks. I'll bet there's more than that, but I've never seen more than 6 jaws. But all of that is to the end of gently holding on to complicated and weirdly shaped objects. You can see where this is going. Metmo has made a fractal vise. Dude, let's talk about this fractal vise. Hold on, I want to get a little display stand for it. There we go. Okay. So Metmo has made a little fractal vise. They have made some efficiencies, which is totally to be expected because the way the actual fractal vise is built is a set of semicircular nested dovetail joints, which is a level of insanity that I have deep respect for, but I would not want to try and make that work on a manufacturing basis. They have gone with pins and slots rather than dovetails for keeping these parts in orientation to each other. And rather than 32 jaws out at the end, they've gone with a simple 4, but you can still, you open it and close it just like a normal vise, and you can hold on to complicated objects. I've got this ball made out of Delrin, which we'll grab onto and show you just how nicely, yeah, see? So I can now choose how much pressure I want to apply to this. Every bit of pressure I apply may end up making a mark on the object, but because I'm distributing it onto so many points, I get a lot more strength than I would out of a straight two-sided vise. This is beautiful. Metmo, I see you. There's a few things I want to say about Metmo's design process because they clearly are going for I will call their material choices and machining choices almost decadent. Okay, so when I describe their machining choices as decadent, I'm definitely going for the hardness of all the steels here. They have made all of these parts out of very hard steel. And I can feel it specifically when I grab hard things. Hold on. So let's say that I'm going to grab onto this parallel and tighten down on it. So one of the things about a vise is it's an application of pressure. And what I can feel from the hardness of all these steels is the hardness of all the steels within this construction gives me a very narrow window of tightening because nothing stretches or moves because all the steel is quite hard. On a normal vise, this main drive screw would probably be out of a mild steel, not necessarily a hardened screw. And as you tightened it, it moves a little and gives you a little more feel. And what's happened here is because they've made this out of like, price is no object, we're gonna use all the best steels, I actually feel like it gives me a little less sensitivity in that lockdown because the window of tightening is so narrow. There's another aspect about this that, honestly, the first time I saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, I could totally chuck this up into my milling vise and use it for certain operations. I will say to that end, they have put to that end, I was a little bit sad that they have a rubber pad on the bottom of this. Now that's to have it so it doesn't slip around, but it's also slightly proud of the bottom of this so this doesn't sit flat. So if I sat it in my vise, I'd have to sit it up on parallels, which is totally fine. But the fact that I can't lay this completely flat on a bench surface, this pulls it away from perfect tool utility for me. And again, they're not making this as a tool for machinists. They're making this as a Christmas present for machinists. That's the difference. But Metmo, you kids, I see your drive for perfection. I see your desire for crisp parts. And I want to suggest that you can supply both the tool fetish market and maybe the machinist's market by actually coming back a little bit from the ledge of super hard and expensive materials to some more quotidian that will give a better feel for the machinist trying to clamp stuff. That's all. It's not necessarily a complaint. It's more like a comment on your construction after having spent some time with this beautiful thing. I love being able to hold on to things like perfect spheres without marking them. And I totally will end up using this Metmo vise in my machining. It's going to live over there with the machine tools. But maybe you guys, if you do decide to use some, oh, you know what? There's another aspect, which is I might have included a threaded hole in the bottom for mounting this somewhere if one needed to, just for work holding. It's just my God. Maybe I'll add that myself. Metmo, I really love your guys' commitment to absurdly well-made tools. And you have been gracious enough to send me much of your catalog, and it floats around here at Tested. We couldn't find the little EDM cut thing, but we'll include, here's some footage of one of their EDM desk toys. Yeah, this thing is like so much fun to play around with. Thank you guys for sending me the Fractal Vise. This is apparently one of the very earliest models they made in the model run. And so I'm very grateful. Thank you guys. And hey, if there's other stuff going on about fractal vises I don't know about, please let me know in the comments. I am completely fractal vise obsessed, if that wasn't already obvious. Right, I guess I can wrap up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you we have some excellent merch. We have a 5-pack of demerit badges for sale right now at tested/store.com. We've got the I hung it off of level demerit badge, the I built the chair backwards demerit badge, the I hit my thumb with a hammer demerit badge. We've got the stapler in my finger demerit badge, and my favorite, I stuck the duct tape to itself demerit badge. Get yours now, tested/store.store tested-store. Tested. It's right here. There. Just click there.